What's up, people? Pretty nice day so far. It's almost 1 in the afternoon. It's Friday. What is today? June? Fuck, I don't even know. What is today? June 20th, maybe? I'm gonna guess. Just a guess, I don't know. It's probably close. So we had a little bit of a thought today. It's the word relates to the word bear. This is a real big word to me. It's one of those words that seems to come up very frequently. Excuse me. Try to light this joint. The wind is not cooperating. So the word bear, like I said, it comes up all the time when I'm doing research on words, when I'm linking words together, looking at words, looking at history of words, origins of words. This is one of them words that you're going to run into a lot because it's just such a big word. It's such a common, bear literally means a lot. I mean, but if you think to bear something is to withstand it or to put up with it, deal with the weight of something. Weight, which if you watch my other videos, you can see that at least I relate weight a lot to time. I think that they're one and the same. That time is just a measurement of how much things have changed, and weighing something or the weight of something or how much it's grown or lost is also just a measurement of how much something has changed. Plus the words link together, right? When you really looking into the words, you can see they stem from the same origins and literally kind of mean the same thing. And they branch into interesting words, like that means like to see, right? Which makes sense because you can think that's probably why we call it a watch, but we measure time with a watch because it comes from the same word we use for our eye and to see. And for you and for me, it means you, me, a lot of interesting stuff, right? But bear, it's one of those words too. So bear actually comes from an old word that's actually beer. And it's not the beer I don't think you're thinking of, like alcoholic beverage beer. I think it means more like a beer, like actually as in someone who is, to be. Because those same words, like to see and I, link into words that literally mean to be. Like one of them is like bite. It literally just means to be. And it's just another variation of the word. So, and that makes sense, right? When you think bear, beer means to be, that's why boar, it's the same word. When you're born, you're bear or born. You're now a being, right? Exist. But today I had this thought, right, for the first time. And these are things I think about all the fucking time. These words and this particular subject. I mean, I think about them a lot, and I just don't know how I never put these together before. But that happens all the fucking time. Shit's right in front of my face. It's always like, oh, wow. But it's the famous painting of Adam reaching out to God, right? I believe it's Adam. And his finger doesn't quite touch, right? Like their fingers are like almost touching, but not quite. They barely, he can barely reach. Right? That's what I'm thinking. That's I just was mentioned, I used the word barely today, and I thought about it. For some reason, as soon as I said barely, that thought popped into my mind about the fingers that don't quite make it. It's almost there, but they can't reach, right? I feel like this somehow relates to the word bear. Like maybe it means we're barely out of touch. We're close, but not quite. We're right there, barely. It's also interesting that you can get the parts of the word Jesus real easy through the word bear. Because boar, another type of boar is a swine, a hog, a swine, a pig, right? And that's also Latin. Is the word sus, S-U-S, which is just the other half. J-E, the first half, is what means wade, right? To see, wade. The I, to be, means you. I, me, you. You can get the words like the ego when you follow it. Like those go together, right? You can see how those two things go together. Like I am. That literally says I am. JeSus, right? When sus means to bore or to be, to bear. A beer, a bean. You are. If you be, then you are. I am. I exist. I am. Right? And I is J. J means I. Sus means am. Like JeSus literally is the same thing as saying I am. I just think that there's something to that about the word barely, the meaning that means barely, when you're really close to something, right? Or not quite there. You know what I mean? It means like you're not quite there. Like you say like I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm barely awake. Like you're awake but not quite, barely awake. I mean, it's like I think there's something about that picture in the word barely. I don't know 100% what, but these things always come into my head and I don't know why. Like they're weird. They come to me and it's just like I'll see a word or say a word or think about a word, like an image or something like that will come to me often, or a concept, and I don't always understand why. And sometimes I completely disregard them and think, but I often find that when I don't understand why and think it's nothing, that there usually is something there. There's something in my subconscious, I think, that knows that I'm just not consciously aware of, right? That's what I think, anyway. There's something to that. I feel like this time I'm not going to just brush the thought aside. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it in my consciousness. I'm going to stay aware of it and look for more clues. But there is something about that. It's like we can barely reach each other, right? We can't quite reach. We can almost reach each other, but although that doesn't quite make sense to me, because that would almost mean like we actually do reach, like we touch, but we could barely do it, like we just did it. But there's something about it. I feel like I just don't know it yet. I just don't know what it is exactly. But I feel like it's along that path of being barely able. And it relates to being born, right? Or to be a being, to be here, to be I am, to Jesus, to God. Like it does somehow relate. To bear something, to bear the weight of the world. The world is the winding, right? Like of the watch. To wind, world, wind, soar, like crying, the crier, father, the caller. See all these words they all relate. They all link to each other. And even weirder yet is they all link to my name too, a lot of it. Like somehow you can follow my name, Roger, all the way back literally to word, to logos, to word, to Jesus. to like almost everything. My word like my name goes back to the word garden, time, garden. All these words I've been talking about, like J, GE, GE, and J, like they all seem to lead back. Like just another word for GE means like a simpleton and a scythe. Like all of them seem to link back to my name. Like my name relates to death, right? And the scythe, it means a simpleton, rustic, Hodge, Roger. It's a nickname of Roger, Hodge, simpleton. A goose. I forget, but somehow following my name, you get to the word goose. It's another name for G, right? And it leads to the dirt, to the ground, to the geo, to the world, and to some pretty nasty stuff like shit. Like my name means shit, but that's dirt, right? Soil, ground. It's helped me find a lot of word relations and meanings stemming from my own name. It just somehow it just keeps amazing me. Like I can't understand how many things can relate, and it's a lot. Like it's more than I could ever sit and talk about in an hour or something. Or like it's not like I could write novels probably, filling thousands of pages with this stuff. It's almost like it feels very close to the word that means everything. Like it's almost like it leads back to the origins. Like almost everything starts to stem out of some of these words as the further back you get. It's like, it's very strange. And it's even stranger as you can start to see it and understand it. And start to realize how connected everything is. And how, like, I don't know. Almost like everything is just one. You know what they say? The separation is an illusion. You know, everything here is just kind of an illusion. The whole, like there's really it's just in our head. It's almost like words are starting to lead me to a definition of that, a logic of that shows like how it's almost where it starts to early, so where it starts from and starts to spring out and spread out into like everything. I don't know. I think that's a way to explain it. It's not an easy thing to explain. It isn't. It's not an easy thing to convey that when you see some of these things. I would like to maybe make a couple of good videos where I can put in some real effort and take my time and keep adding to things, you know, so I can actually make something a bit more comprehensive. The problem is I'm really lazy when it comes to that. I don't know if I want to say I'm lazy, because I'm always doing something mostly of the time, but just say for some reason I have a hard time getting motivated to do that particular thing. So I don't know. I still would. There's part of me that I want to do it. I just don't know why I can't get motivated to do it. Part of it is because I don't really know how, and I have to learn things. I just don't really have the desire to learn them, but if I could just force myself to start, sometimes I change my mind pretty quick once I get going. So we'll see what happens, people. Peace out.